Hey guys, LeAnna here, welcome to my channel, and today I decided I would do a non-sponsored, non-promoted, whatever, review of our Berkey water system. If you've been following me, you'll have seen this in the background of several of my vlogs, like my work at home morning routine. I know that was in the back there because I definitely pointed it out. No, it does not hold coffee, although for some of you that might be the way to go. But this is our water purification filtration system. It is the Royal Berkey from the Berkey website. Anything I talk about, I'll link down below. It does not run on electricity, which is a huge plus because most filtration systems have some kind of something that they have to hook up into. And it also doesn't hook to your faucet. Literally, you pour water in the top here, and it does its magic here, and it comes out down here. It's great having one, especially here in Florida. We do have hurricane season from May through November. If we get a hurricane, your power is most likely gonna go out. So it's great knowing that we have access to clean water during a power outage via the Berkey because it does not require power. The only thing that you do have to concern yourself with is if the water plant loses power. So gotta think about that. However, the Berkey is strong enough to filter out lake water. So I realized that with the current COVID-19 pandemic going on, that losing power is not really gonna be a thing because it's not like a natural disaster. It's just y'all need to stay inside so we can flatten this curve already. But it's still a good idea to have because I know a lot of stores are selling out, and I think even the Berkeys are starting to sell out online. So hopefully if you get one, I'm gonna cross my fingers for you. First of all, I'm going to say here that I'm just going to do a generic overview. There is a lot of science that goes behind all of this, and I will link everything in the description below. So if you're that kind of science person like I am, and you want to see everything, go ahead and look at the description, or go ahead and look for the links in the description below, because I know that's not everybody's jam, and they're like, look, I just want a quick overview of what the heck this thing is. So that's what I'm going to give you here today. Now, first of all, you're going to say, LeAnna, that's nice, but that Royal Berkey there is like $300-$400, if not more. Honestly, I don't remember the pricing right now. Why don't I just go and get like one of those pitchers or the faucet attachments at the store for like $30-$40 and have to buy a new water filter for $20 every 2 weeks? Like, why don't I just do that? Because those filters essentially are only really there to make your water taste better. They don't actually filter out anything of consequence. And there's a comparison chart for that as well. So I will link that down in the description box below, but I will talk about some of them here. So just real quick, again, I have the link in the description box below, but I'll just read off the chart. I'm literally going to the website and reading off of it right now. The Big Berkey, which is the model that's a little bit smaller than this one, is what they're comparing to a few different ones, but I will go with the faucet filter Brita and the Pure Plus FM 3000. So the Big Berkey retails for about $278. The Brita faucet filter goes for $35 and the Pure goes for $34. Now, the replacement filter cost for a Berkey is $120. However, they last you about 8 years. Yeah, I think it's actually 8 to 10 years. So that's a really long time if you're thinking about that, dividing it up by how long you're going to be using it for. Because I know when I had those pictures and stuff like that, I was buying filters every 2 to 4 weeks, and I was just single at the time. The Brita replacement filters are usually about $20. The Pures are about $18. So it boils down to a price per gallon cost of use. Berkey boils down to about 2 cents a gallon. Yeah, 2 cents per gallon of water. How insane is that? With that Brita faucet filter, it boils down to about 20 cents, and the Pure Plus FM 3000 boils down to about 17 cents. How long do the filters last in gallons? So for the Big Berkey, that would be the 2 carbon filters. That would be 6,000 gallons. For the Brita, one filter is gonna last you 100 gallons, and the same with the Pure, 100 gallons. So as you can see, you're already getting your money's worth. A total cost for 6,000 gallons. So that's what the Big Berkey capacity is. At 6,000 gallons, that'd be $278. For a Brita, it will cost you $1,214, and for a Pure, it would cost you $1,037. So if you're just measuring it by gallons, there you go. Now, the interesting part I found was that that Berkey does remove about 99.99% of viruses, chlorine, lead, THMs, VOCs, lindane, alachlor, atrazine, benzene, TCE. And then if you have the additional fluoride filters, which I will show you here in a minute, that they can remove fluoride as well. Now with the Brita, it does not remove viruses. It does remove chlorine and lead, up to 99%, does not remove THMs or VOCs, does remove lindane, alachlor at 99%, atrazine at 92%, benzene at 96%, TCE at 99%, does not remove fluoride, or at least there's not any information published on that. And the Pure is basically the same. The numbers are slightly different, so it does not remove viruses. Chlorine and lead are about 98, 96%, does not remove THMs, VOCs. Lindane it does remove, but there's no specification. Alachlor does not. Atrazine 96%. Benzene, TCE, no, but it does remove fluoride, so credit where credit's due. Now, as you can see, the interesting part about all of that is the three filters that I'm comparing. The Berkey is the only one that filters out viruses, which is a big thing. I know you're thinking like, oh, it's just drinking water. Like, what is in there? You know, if you want to go down a rabbit hole of knowledge, Google it, because there's so much stuff. There's so many pharmaceuticals from people just flushing their pills down the toilet like they shouldn't be, and people dumping stuff into things that get into our water supply. It's terrible. It's a hot mess, which again I won't bore you with because this is not a water lecture video, so go ahead and do your own research on that. They do compare the Berkey to several other like filters, so if you want to compare and see, I will have that link down below as well. As far as the statistics go, I am gonna post a link as well so you can specifically see lab results, because they do lab testing on the Berkeys as well. So if you're curious and the science nerd and you want to check that out, you can go ahead and check that out. Like I said, I have the Royal Berkey and it does hold 3.25 gallons. However, now might be the time to give you a little tour. So this is the Berkey. It actually goes down just a little bit further here. This is the Royal Berkey. Like I said, it's supposed to do about 4 to 6 people, but we also use it for cooking and for humidifiers, and there's another reason why we got a bigger size. Essentially what you're gonna do is you're just gonna lift the lid. You're just gonna pour water into the top, which I'm not gonna do because if I fill mine up right now, it's gonna weigh like 40 pounds if I fill it up and it has all the water in there. Earlier when I was talking about the 2 carbon filters, you're like, LeAnna, what the heck is that? I will show you. So if you guys can see, there's these 2 guys right here. They are the carbon filters. They come with every Berkey. If you see the 2 little white plugs in there, the Royal Berkey actually has the ability to have 4, but we just stuck with the 2. And that's where all the magic happens that I will talk about in a minute. However, I did mention to you guys about the fluoride filters we do have on our Berkey, and the fact that that factored into us getting a bigger model, because this is where the filtered water is stored. This is your reservoir. That's where the fluoride filters sit. So these are the 2 fluoride filters, and as you can see, they are rather large. So they do take up a rather large chunk. I guess you could put 4 under there, but honestly, you'd have like no space. But they do sit in the reservoir. So if you are wanting to buy the fluoride attachments, please factor that into your decision as to which size you're going to get. And then it just has a little, oh God, can I lift this up? It's heavy, sorry guys. It has a little spigot down here that you just pour your water into. And that's that, and you have a great conversation piece because people are like, what the heck is in that thing? Is that a carafe of coffee? And you're like, yes, I have a problem. So now that you've had a little tour of what the Berkey looks like, I'm gonna read some statistics off to you. So this is the Royal Berkey, like I said. It holds 3.25 gallons. Obviously that's without the fluoride filters in. I think it holds a little bit less than that. And it filters up to 3.5 gallons per hour with just the 2 filters, or up to 7 gallons per hour if you have 4. Now, I know you're thinking gallons per hour, like, wow, it's gonna take like an hour or more to filter my water. Like, that's crazy. My pitcher or my faucet attachment doesn't like 20 minutes. There's a reason. You want it to take longer. Basically, I'm reading off of my notes just to make sure that I get this specifically correct. So it is a several step microfiltration process, and it uses filters that have such small holes that the contaminants cannot physically pass through them, essentially. And of course there is a lot of science behind this, and I will have all the science link below. I'm just kind of simplifying the process for you. It uses an absorption process to remove the submicron viruses without needing to add additional chemicals, because there are a lot of other companies that can remove viruses, but they add other chemicals into your water in order to do that. They also use an ion exchange process for filtering out heavy metals. This entire process takes a while, but it's a good thing. And now this is a direct quote from their website. The longer the contact time between the water molecules and the filter media provides much greater removal rates of harmful water contaminants not obtainable through conventional pressurized water filtration methods. Meaning, if it takes you 20 minutes, it's not doing as nearly as good a job as it does if it's taking you an hour plus. The longer it takes, the better it's going to be filtered. This is not a system just to make your water taste better, although it does. It will taste a lot better. You'll find yourself turning into a water snob like I've created out of my husband. This is to filter out all of these harmful contaminants, etc., while leaving the good things that you want in your water in your water. Now, I will say a little catch. The science is out on whether you should water your plants with the Berkey water or not. Some say don't water it because they take out things the plant needs, and then others say do water it because they filter the water. I don't know. I could probably run a science experiment, but honestly, I kill plants pretty easily, so I can't even blame the water either way. And the other thing with fish, I'm not entirely sure there either, because I know some people be like, oh, I'll buy one of those and then I can use that for water to put in my fish bowl. I really don't know the answer to that question either, so definitely do your research. If you're curious, the black Berkey, the filters that I showed you that were in this top reservoir here, they've been tested by state and EPA accredited laboratories to exceed NSF ANSI standard 531. So this does go through legit testing. This isn't just like Mr. Berkey in his backyard made this up and then marketed it. Like, they actually do science. When I was initially doing my research into what kind of water filter system we wanted to purchase for our apartment, I actually watched a bunch of people who study water, and they study water purification and everything, and they did a lot of tests, and these always came back rather positive. The thing that made me go towards it is because I kept buying the ones from the store and the filters just kept going so quickly, and I'm like, look, it's only me, like what is going on? Or it's just me and my husband, like, how am I having to buy a filter? It felt like every week, or my water tasted like plastic, or it started to not work, or it leave deposits. And so we went in, did our research, and this is what we came back with. Again, this was not a sponsored video. This was not promoted. This was not given to me in any way, shape, or form. This is just my honest opinion from our, 4 years of use now. And it's a great thing to have. Like, I know that the water's flying off the shelves right now, and we don't have to worry about it because we just have this. There's no power's not going out, but even if the power did go out, we have this. Actually, when you first set this up, one of the tests they have you do is add water to the top and then add red dye to the water to make sure that your filters are primed the right way. And then when you pour it out the bottom, there's no red dye in your water. Like, that was so cool to see, because you're like, oh my God, this process actually legit works. And especially with the COVID-19 crisis, obviously I can't comment on if it gets rid of COVID-19. I'm not claiming that whatsoever. I'm just saying that I know a lot more people are paying attention to the health and cleanliness of their houses, their water, hopefully their food, etc., etc. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys this option. Plus, if your stores are running out of water, this is a great way to go. Okay, guys, so I think that's gonna be it on all of these sort of pandemic prepping kind of videos that I'm gonna do. I did one last week on if you ran out of toilet paper or diapers or wipes or what have you. It's good for children, good for adults. I did that last week. I will link that down below and put it in the eye. I did another one on menstrual cups and reusable period products as well, so I will go ahead and put those in the eye. I will link them down below as well. I also did one on how to work from home with kids. If you need activities to do, and this is all age ranges as well, and just kind of like how to master the whole work home balance. So I might do another one on just activities, but honestly, it's not going to be geared towards the pandemic. I decided to just kind of shift the focus away. I feel like I've got all the information out that I can get to you guys, and I hope that you're staying safe, practicing social distancing, and not just going to the store for the heck of it. I'm looking at you, Floridians, stop going out because we're never going to stop being told to stay home if y'all just keep going out. That's just what it is. So please stop. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe below and click the little notification bell so you know every time I upload new videos, which is every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. I have all of that linked down below, and I will see you guys next week. Stay safe, stay home, stay inside, practice social distancing. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.